let's go on. Protecting critical infrastructure is a global challenge. To address this issue, we give way to an online keynote by Iain, Deason, IT specialist at the Office of Vulnerability Management at CISA. Please welcome Iain Deason joining us online.
Hi, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Iain Deason, and I'm coming from the Office of Vulnerability Management from the United States Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. And I want to thank you for gathering here today, especially as a member of CISA's Vulnerability Management team. I'm honored to address you on the matter of software and hardware vulnerabilities that affect our critical infrastructure and underpins our nation's security and prosperity. Today, I wanted to discuss specifically CISA's Coordinated Vulnerability Disclosure Program, also known as CVD, as well as the Global Common Vulnerabilities and Enumeration Program, also known as the CVE program. So our mission is clear that we want to be able to protect critical infrastructure by proactively identifying, assessing, and mitigating cybersecurity vulnerabilities that affect all of our different enterprises as well as our critical infrastructure. We recognize that the interconnected world faces ever-evolving threats, and it is our duty to stay ahead of these challenges. We, by collaborating closely with our public and private sector partners, we foster information sharing, and we coordinate our responses to protect everyone from emerging cyber threats. Our goal specifically with disclosing vulnerabilities is twofold. We want to be able to provide efficient disclosure where we aim to ensure that the reported vulnerabilities are shared responsibly as well as reasonably, and also follow a standardized process. Transparency is absolutely crucial for asset owners in order to make informed actions and make wise decisions. Additionally, our second goal is being able to provide accurate information. We strive for simultaneous disclosure, not only by CISA, but also through affected vendors, as well as the different vulnerability reporters. By providing clear and actionable intelligence, we empower asset owners to provide, to protect their systems effectively. So some of the successes that we've had with our program, I'm showing on this slide right here with our different program metrics. So over time, we have published over 2,600 advisories, and these advisories provide actionable intelligence to those that are using the affected products. And also we're helping secure systems by providing novel vulnerabilities when they're published, as well as giving the proper remediation action. We've also published over 7,100 different software and hardware vulnerabilities. And not only are we making sure that this information is public, this is also information that we track and we assess to make sure that there is a timely response. We also work with over 675 different security researchers because we 100% value the contributions of security researchers who not only identify and address the vulnerabilities, but they're able to share that information with us and allow us to make an informed response. We also have proactive relationships with over 685 different software and hardware vendors because we value the collaboration with the vendors, and we want to make sure that we are able to create effective vulnerability management for all the users of these products. We also partner with over 40 different nations, because especially our partners within CBAY, we want to make sure that when we are when we have our priorities and are addressing cybersecurity problems, we understand that oftentimes these are not national problems, but these are problems that can go beyond borders, as cybersecurity is a global issue. And finally, we have published on over 2,000 different products. Our work touches a wide range of technologies, from critical infrastructure to everyday devices. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our process and how we're able to do the work that we do. So we have coordination for industrial control systems, information technology systems, as well as systems that affect the United States federal, state, local, tribal, and territorial governments. And the way that we do this is a simple 5-step process where we collect information, we analyze that vulnerability information, we coordinate the mitigation information, we allow for the mitigations to be applied, and then finally, we publish the information. So when we start out, when we're collecting information, all of our vulnerability reports we receive through CISA, we generally have a designated system, which is also open source. It's named events, and we allow for the responsible disclosure of vulnerabilities. Our analysts meticulously validate and occasionally reproduce the results of these vulnerabilities to make sure we have efficient information to be able to assess the risk and the impact of each of these vulnerabilities. We receive this information either through direct reports, either through CVEs that have already been assigned, or through existing cases and advisories. Next, we perform analysis. And the way that we do this is going to be through technical examination. And we're also using common frameworks, such as the Common Weakness Enumeration Standard. We use the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, also known as CVSS. And we also use a decision matrix called the Stakeholder Specific Vulnerability Categorization, also known as SSVC. We take this information, we create a positive feedback loop to be able to tailor our decisions to make the best decisions possible. Next, we work into mitigations, where when a vulnerability is reported, our first step is to encourage a vendor to develop a patch or an additional mitigation. Swift patching is crucial to address the vulnerability effectively. We act as the mediator. So when a security researcher provides information for us, we make sure that it is getting worked within the vendor's patch development cycle, so that way we can address the vulnerability. If a vendor input is unavailable, we do have internal subject matter experts that are able to provide information and feedback if necessary. Once the mitigation is created, we will work within our designated channels to be able to share what mitigation information we can, especially how those mitigations might be deployed. And finally, within our cycle, we will be publicly disclosing that information, where we will write a technical advisory. We will put that information onto our website. We will generally assign a CVE ID to that information and then make sure it is public. Because for us, having information public is very, very crucial to the process. And again, thank you so much for continuing the partnership that you have with the United States Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, and I hope the best for the rest of the conference. Thank you.